This is the Steropsis.
Okay, let's go straight to the video. I saw it on your timeline. How far the testing? How is it going?
Well, very well. We have another test to do this morning. It's part of the activities for today. So, we've been having this issue with liquid kerosene. Whenever we introduce it into the system, it gets so violent and makes the engine operate out of control, kind of like overcharging. So we got that under control last week. Did like 3 or 4 runs and everything ran fine after the modifications we did. So we want to run another test today to make sure that okay, we've solved that problem. It runs very well on gas. We use gas to preheat the system, then we switch to kerosene, because we can't be carrying a big gas cylinder around. So we have to optimize the engine to function independently with a tank of liquid kerosene on the launch vehicle. So that's where the issue was always coming from. But by God's grace, I think we have solved that problem. So today's test we'll have to run the engine for like 10-15 minutes non-stop to make sure that that issue has been sorted out. So that's for today's test.
Okay, so maybe one day, like the last time we spoke, you said, let's see what happened in 2025. Maybe we can see the thing flying, or you say you can get off the ground. Like,
We're a long way from that. We're a long way from that. We're a long way from flight. Not too far anyway, because all we're doing now is testing, collecting data to be able to make some calculations as to what applications the jet engine can be used for and all of that. So you never know. I'm not ruling that out. I'm
so
just saying
but we are not really making it.
step at a time.
You're not really making it a priority that the object is going to be on the sky, or like.
Calm down now. Yeah.
So that's what a lot of people want to hear now, because sometimes.
Don't worry, they should calm down too. We'll make the announcement if it will happen or not.
Okay, like this is not actually easy, and I wonder how you get the motivation. And last time we spoke, I wanted to dive into the finance, and because if you watch any person who have done this, it's very expensive. It's very audacious, and how are you coping with all this? Like, even the short run, even this if this thing must progress beyond the next stage, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so far, to be honest, funding has been in-house, internal funding, and also we've gotten support from the likes of like Guy Oskibweze and a few other well-wishers online, about 3 different people. Whenever there's a breakdown, when I announce it, like at least one person, contacts me that he'd like to make a small donation to support, our work. So many people are interested in the project, so far we've gotten some form of external support in the form of donations for the project. Right now, the project has got about, if I'm not mistaken, about 2.6, 2.5 million so far, the entire program so far. So turbos are not cheap. Yeah, turbos are not cheap. We've gone through 5. The average cost of a turbo is 170,000 naira. The sizes we use. There's only one big one that we got for 200 that didn't even work at all. So that one was a waste of money. So that's R&D for you. It's expensive. But when you now pass that, prototyping phase, you get all these problems we are trying to solve now that are making us spend too much money. They are all gone. So you see, prototyping R&D is very expensive. Then moving forward, that's a bigger stage, that's a bigger scale. We need to work with some organizations to
In terms of the funding,
kind of like, yeah, something like that, because it's very capital intensive, very, very, very capital intensive. Some people think it's like a waste of time or waste of money. I'm like, because we don't have a 24 hours power, or we don't have food security, I can't do everything now. I was built or created to do this. Someone else can do something in agriculture. Someone else can do so. In fact, this thing has power generation applications. But then, like I said, step at a time. All this testing we are doing will let us know, the right applications
for their own
for the
environment.
engine itself.
Okay, that will take me to, you met the Ministry of Defense some time ago. You saw the pictures, and you got a lot of backlash from your guys who are like, a lot of people are following you and they feel like this will never work. Sometimes when I go to your comment section, I just go there to laugh a lot. And how did you go?
Well, it went very well. Like I said, anything about the military is not something you just talk about anyhow, you
Yes,
know.
I understand. There are some
So the
classified.
only thing I can say is it went well. Yes, it went well, and we're working on a lot. That's all I can say for now. I can't come and start telling you the nitty gritty involved
I
in
understand. I
my
understand. I
discussions with
understand.
the military. No, also from a security perspective,
Perspective.
because there
Yeah.
are a few people who feel, I don't know want to say unhappy or whatever, but it's not my business. People try to want to control you to do their bidding. So these people are not
So
happy and all of that. So
I'll,
I
I'll
keep
get.
most of these things classified.
Yes, I'll
You
get. I'll
know,
get. I'll get to that also. I've seen it a lot. Get a timeline. It's a real battle. So
it's
now
crazy, man.
in terms of government funding, like let me say for support generally. Support could be money, scale, and like moral. Have you been reached by the government?
Um, I wouldn't say directly. We've met with a few people. Like I said, this topic is very, very sketchy. You don't want to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
anything that might put you in trouble.
yes.
So
Or
I
jeopardize
like to
something that
just,
is
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. You
Something
you
that is in the
understand.
making. Yeah, I
So
understand.
so when the time is right, we will say some things and we will do some things. So that's all I can say. Almost everyone knows what we are doing up to any level. So there's nobody that may say, unless maybe you're not active online or you don't listen to news, almost any important person knows what we're doing. So it's pretty humbling, and I hope by God's grace something positive, because something positive comes out of this engine. It's for the nation. It's for
Yes.
us, it's our pride and everything, that we're able to develop actual, jet engines in Nigeria. So that's with various applications, not just for aircraft, for ships, for power generation in the form of gas turbines. So the potential is huge that some people are too myopic to see. But I'm thankful for people like you and the rest of the family online who come out to cheer us and support us and encourage us to continue doing what we're doing. So it's a big thing for me, actually.
Okay. Um, have you ever been approached by like Western power? I know you may not want to talk about like to migrate or all those kind of things.
I was interviewed by a Russian journalist last month, I think, either last month or 2 months ago, by a Russian journalist, either Egyptian who lives in Russia, something like that, but was for a Russian TV
Channel.
station or something like that. So I made it clear I don't want to jackpot. This is my home. I only want to go out for like vacations or something. But this is my home. I don't want to run away from my home. You see the way Jackpot is tearing families apart. This person's brother is in China. This person's sister is in Australia. Before they see themselves again, it's like 10 years, 20. You get Nigeria is not currently where we want it to be. But then we can't all run away. You understand? Some of us have to stay back and help, you know, create an enabling environment or build the society to what we expect it to be. So not all of us are destined to Japan. Personally, I made it clear that I don't want to, I can't even do these things I'm doing out there because they already have this. You understand? They already have these things. They'll just need to harness whatever knowledge you have and add to what they have. We
Possibly
don't
work.
have these things here, so that's why I'm
Possibly
doing these things here.
work in any of the big maybe aircraft or space. That's the thing they will offer you there. Most of these basics are
Exactly. If I was working, if I was working in, say, maybe Boeing or Airbus or Pratt and
on
Whitney,
SpaceX.
nobody will know me now, right?
Then you just
I'll
be one
just
of
be a
those
regular
all those
employee there. But
regular employee working on
exactly.
engines or any other
But
thing.
because I'm doing this thing here, it's kind of like unheard of or extraordinary that we're doing this here, and that's why at least if you go somewhere and mention my name, a few people may know. So I'm
Yeah,
not trying to brag or anything. I'm trying to
yeah, I
show you
understand.
the advantages of why we are here, why I'm doing this here. You get it's for us, it's for our prestige. I mean, imagine a Nigeria that manufactures things like this. This is something the world powers do themselves. So any right thinking person in Nigeria should really be happy that we are doing what we are doing.
Okay. How do you get this case? Because I'm getting to something very interesting. Our school system. How do you get? Because like we talked earlier on, our first phase, we discussed how you got into this thing, you study computer engineering, knowledge. It must be somebody that's so inquisitive to get. How do you like try to get skill? Because this thing requires highly skilled guys. Because I'm seeing a lot of things you are doing. Because after after this phase now, when you start tooling and all those things, you're gonna work with a lot of precision tools that require a lot of skilled guys. How do you deal with those kind of things?
Well, at this level, like I said, I read wide, I study a lot, I do a lot of R&D right from when I was a kid, you know. So most of all I know are things I learn on my own. Before I embark on a project, I need to study it extensively, how it functions, how it's supposed to operate. Then before I do my design, yes, you're right. This engine is not something you can do. I'm currently doing it alone because I don't have the wherewithal to create a big team yet with
Yeah.
precision tools and everything. When we get to that level, I won't be the only one working on the project. I have material science engineers. I have, chemical engineers to, work on the fuel mixing ratios and all of that. I have electronics engineers to work with me because me, I'm also an electronics engineer, to work with me on the control systems, the electronic control systems, you know. So you even have aviation specialists who are experienced in that field to, for us to work on the aerodynamics of everything involved. So, like you said, yes, moving forward, there will be a bigger team. That's when, by God's grace, the resources are available to do this. But for now, we are doing it at our level, at our scale. Even though to some it's big, but to us, this is a small scale. You
Yeah.
know, so we are starting from where we can start from, and by God's grace, maybe next year we might, upgrade to a standard, research level.
Okay, as somebody who schooled in Nigeria, what do you say about the educational system, especially as an engineer?
Well, most people think I made first class. No, I did not make first class. No, I was a bright student, but not first class. But then when I came out from secondary school and got admission, I think that was 2012 or 2013. I was expecting it to. It wasn't what I was expecting.
When you get into
I'm
the
doing
system,
courses I'm not interested in. You get. I'm not close to the. Yeah, I'm not close to the lecturer like as I was in secondary
secondary
school, where if
schools,
you're confused or anything, you can easily,
talk to the physics
I'll come
and
to
chemistry
lecture.
teachers.
I'll come to the lecture. We'll be like 1,000 in the hall. You get, and I'll find myself either at the middle or at the back, and you see the learning curve. Everything is just it really affected me, especially in my 100 level and in my 200 level. It was in my 300 level when we separated departments and had our own, departmental lectures that I now picked up, because at that point we're a little bit closer to our lecturers. We're smaller in size. If you come to class, even if you come late, you can still hear the lecturers
Yeah,
very well. You
yes,
can
yes.
still see the board very well. So I think we need a review of the educational system. I don't know how it is now because I left school not too long ago anyway. But um, I think we need to update or upgrade our educational system. I don't see why engineering students should be 1,000 in a hall. You get most of them will be at the back. They don't even know what they're talking about. Just write attendance and and go. We need to revitalize the system. Also, in terms of courses, I noticed I was doing some courses that this thing is none of my business. As an electronics engineer, yes, no knowledge is a waste. But then I wanted to do what I came to do so bad. And I got the opportunity in my 400 and 500 level.
By then you're
That's when I
almost
faced.
by then you're almost going.
That's the thing.
You're almost going,
That's the thing.
and yeah.
Imagine we started early enough. Imagine we started very early enough. So it's something we need to look at.
Okay. So like you have, I think you have one or two. You have a co-founder,
Yes, I do.
and he's also an engineer, right?
I'm in talks with these people. So I avoid conversations with these people. I don't discuss this thing with them. The only time I said I won't even talk about it anymore. The only time I spoke about it in recent time was when they tried to, start, leaving my people to hang to dry, making them a target, accusing my people of being responsible for the carnage going on in some other states. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let this happen. Because let's be honest, everybody likes to say we are playing victim, we have low self-esteem. That's crap, man. Because if you're a truthful person, you understand that the average boy man has suffered a lot of stereotype. Let's just be honest. So anything that will make it worse, I will not let it happen. I'm not gonna stand and let it happen. And many people see, this is the truth. I know some boy people, even when I was in school, they hide their identity because of that discrimination, that stigma you get. Nobody wants to, they see you as a village local boy because you're from a boy. In fact, there's a lady, yes, we're all adults. There's a lady she was my friend. When she found out I was my boy, everything just, you get.
It's something that
from holiday. When I told her, I spent my holiday, there was a friend of mine, I spent my holiday in a boy. She was like, oh my God, you're from there. I got so upset. I didn't lash out at her, but she saw it immediately. I was upset. So you see, with this personal experience, I have people who used to taunt me, Bakaliki, like, you get. So with this experience, I know what it is. So people hide themselves. Now, by the grace of God, I should be a solid voice online.
Yes.
You get. So why don't I speak for my people because of what one or two people think about or start? That is their problem. That is their place, are my people. So I have to speak for them if no one else is going to speak for them, So anybody who knows me online, I don't tolerate any Ebonyi slander. So that's why I spoke. If not, I don't speak about those people or their activities or whatever. It's none of my business. If they want to burn themselves down, then I guess.
They've let you be now. That's no more disturbance like before.
Well, that's their problem. Why would you come to personally message me when you know where I stand already? It was then when they didn't know where I stood that, they were always, you get one or two people who try to come and support this one, come out. I'm not interested. Sometimes I even just block them or ignore them because I don't like the way you're doing this thing. There are other ways to make your intentions or agitations well known. It is not by destroying our homeland. I do not support that.
And I do sometimes tell them that, can we also have conversation? Can we also be on the same space? Even the organ, let all of us talk. They don't want that kind of thing. Is when you get on the space, they will just be threatening you. If you see some of our comments, fool, I'll just be laughing with my guy. Fool,
your time. They don't want to be safe. They don't want to listen to it. They've made up their mind. So I've made up my mind. It's better everybody just stays on their own. Stay on your own. Let me stay on my own. Let me do my thing. You get, because these people are not wise. One guy was like, you designed this stuff. That time I went to Abuja.
Yes,
you designed this stuff. I like, how are you logically saying all these things? Don't I live in Nigeria? Is it not Nigerian money I'm using? Is it not like Jesus Christ of Nazareth? Why are you people why don't people have sense? You get, so at my young age and early stage of my career, you want me to ruin my career to please you? You get.
A more dangerous part, because why they don't think that even building their Igbo for economical, this thing is in the southeast, and you should make them very comfortable about it.
They don't think like that.
They should be the one protecting.
That's why
they should be the one protecting. Is coming to attack any person come or even giving you problem. What are they fighting for if not for our people to be okay? You see,
that's why show us how you will be better than the government. I have not seen a single act of them showing us how they'll be better. Not one, not in Pali. I've not seen where they say, okay, they built a school or they built even public toilets or come on, social amenities for the people you want to protect. I have not seen. My brother, let this topic not, take over our conversation. It's important to me at this.
So what's the greatest challenge? What's the greatest challenge you ever had doing this? Let's get back to our engineering.
Greatest. My brother, there are a lot of challenges, as you know. When those turbines were always melting, that was a very, very technical challenge. So we can say technical, challenges. And then I wouldn't say it's much of a problem, but the money we are spending is heavy. It's heavy. So we are burning through R&D resources. So I would say technical challenges first, which has not been a continuous problem because, as you know, as engineers, there must be technical problems. So it's left for you now as an engineer find a way to,
Navigate,
overcome
yeah.
that problem.
Yeah.
There will always be technical issues. Now, overcoming that issue is what makes you a good engineer. Then, financial must come in, because this is spending, is funding. You don't have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
We're doing this project from, people might think it's a lot, but the budget is quite small for this kind of, project moving forward. So I would say that then we are at a stage where I think my state government now has to come in the sense of giving us approval, because there is no long runway around except at the Ebonyi airport, the newly built airport, to test these vehicles full power. You get? So we will need their support in terms of, permitting us to use the runway at the airport. If they don't provide, there's no place around. You can't just take this machine to the main road or streets road and start testing. They will arrest you for public because it's crazy loud.
Yeah.
I'm still my compound, because my compound is enclosed. So yes, it may disturb the neighbors a little, but they will understand. But taking it out to the road or the street, that's a different ball game, and you are the one now looking for trouble. So that's why it's good to run it in a controlled and closed environment, either here or at the airport. So I think these are the challenges we have. We're yet to apply anyway. I want to make sure that all the systems are ready
before you go for your
before. Exactly. So that if they approve and maybe it's not ready and there's a time frame they've given you, how do you start them? So we want to be ready first, completely ready, then we apply. So if they say, okay, use it Friday, Saturday, you're allowed to use it so dates, we'll be able to, meet up with that.
Okay. Have you ever thought about, like, maybe sometimes if you're like, this may not work, maybe talk about quitting? Because as an engineer, I know there are a lot of times you look at it and say, are you sure I'm going to get out of this? Will this ever work?
The moment Mark 3 self-sustained, all these doubts were out the window. It was at Mark 1. Remember, we built 3 models.
Yes.
When people laughed at me at the failure of Mark 1, I started thinking this thing, should I scrap this project? And that's why most people don't like building in public. They want to build secretly, so that if it doesn't work,
you can just go away. The pressure is...
Bring it out to the public that, hey, see the kind of project I'm doing, so it was a very big risk for me. And then when they did one, and that thing with me, I don't like giving up. Anybody that knows me very well, I don't like see me give up. But that's why I cry, but I won't leave that thing. I keep trying. So I built Mark 2. Mark 2 did not work as planned either. It still failed. It's demoralizing. Like you said, anybody can just, oh my God, they're laughing at me. You just give up. I don't give up. Yeah, laugh, no problem. But you see that thing I said I'm going to do, I must do it. I went down to the drawing board again. Now upgraded the entire design, getting a turbo, because that's why all these people I call them educated illiterates, because you're saying I welded a turbocharger to a can. They make it look so simple. Do you know how complex the engineering of this thing is? Because if they knew what the function of a turbocharger is, they wouldn't be saying that rubbish, because a turbocharger just works exactly like the compressors in a jet engine. In fact, the radial style or centrifugal style jet engines, which are the old style of jet engine designs, they use exactly the same physical design as a turbocharger on the inlet section. So what did I do differently? You get, just because you feel it's a car turbocharger or truck turbocharger is nonsense. They don't know. So I check my design, like, the turbocharger is going to do better than, since I don't have precision too. You know me already. I'm not going to mince words or try to be nice. I've told people I'm not your regular CEO or company startup founder, whatever. I'm radical sometimes when necessary. So I don't have anything nice to say to anybody who has tried to belittle my work. Somebody said, what did he say again? Okay, the guy said it was a turbocharger, as if it's that simple. And that is why it's important that I showed the step-by-step creation of this engine from scratch. Now, what do you think? Was it just a turbocharger welded to a car? You saw the complexities. Even inside that, there are systems inside the can. There's a combustor. There's ignition system. there's a fuel injection system, there's oil lubrication system, there's oil cooling system. Look at all the systems involved, and you say you just welded the turbo. Like, doesn't that show you are an illiterate? So I don't have anything nice to say to these people, only that anybody who doesn't know what we're doing can go through my media and see for themselves. And that's why it's important. I was showing step by step. Imagine I just woke up one day and said, I built this engine. Then all these things they're saying may be valid because maybe someone else built it for me in China and I brought it to Nigeria, But now everybody has seen the step-by-step process of building this engine. Some people will even hide the mishaps. I have not hidden anything. When the engine breakdowns, I post the video. When there's a problem, I post the video. When it works, I post so you can see it wasn't even an easy ride to build. So all these uninformed and educated illiterates who keep doing what they're doing, all those things don't really bother me anymore. It's just that I like to point it out so that people will see, see what is going on, see all we've gone through, see the unbelievers. Almost everybody, people have said to me, this thing will not work. What you're doing will not work. Blah, 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 blah. I've proved them all wrong.
Okay.
Every single one. I don't know what else anybody wants to say now. I've gone past that level. It was when we hadn't even gone to self-sustaining, zones that we were, what you're doing will not work. You're wasting time. You're wasting your money. Now, when they see it in action, even with the afterburner, when the flames are shooting, they don't have anything to say anymore.
Yes.
Now, I built an ordinary turbocharger. If it's that simple, go and do it now. If it's that simple, no one else done it.
Even at that, any engineer will understand that. Like what you're trying to do. You see, like Boeing doesn't actually produce engine. The engines are produced by Rolls-Royce. Most people don't know that they are not really specialized in engines. Some of them are like that.
Boeing aircraft. Boeing, they don't make engines.
They don't make
aircraft.
Engines. Yes. The engines come from Rolls-Royce.
Who makes engines. Their
yes.
companies
who make engines and then test and bring to them. And some people don't actually know about that. But will you call a Boeing not an aircraft company? Will somebody say Boeing is not an aircraft company because they're not producing engine? It's not done like that. So let's just leave them. You've responded to them. What is your advice to other young engineers? Because you are really inspiring a lot of young guys. I studied computer engineering program, and there's nothing like seeing somebody. No, not that. There's nothing like that actually motivate young guys like seeing some other guys doing what they're aspiring to do. That is one thing engineers don't have in Nigeria, like in schools. If you had the teachers who, like where you are now, maybe someday you are teaching aeronautic engineering in school. Oh my God, your students will be quite better than you. But what we had in school, like when you go to medical schools and the doctor comes out of the theater, he's telling you how to perform a surgery. He's telling you something he knows. What you are passing through now is something that when you stand and talk, you're talking from experience. You've gone through this thing. Like somebody that finished surgery now is telling you how to do surgery. You see, that's deep down conviction when he's talking. Like when you talk now, it's something you're doing every day. That's what we lack in engineering. You understand? Don't see your role as only producing engine. What do you have for the young guys who are watching? Because sometimes when they watch you like this, they feel like, oh man, you've got to do this thing.
My brother, it's my vision in the not too distant future to establish sort of an engineering academy within Zedora.
It's very important.
Give the young ones and aspiring engineers a platform, because like I said, we Nigerians are freaking talented.
Yeah.
We are all talented. Many of us don't have the opportunity to do the kind of things I'm doing in terms of resources, in terms of an enabling environment or a sponsor you get. So they end up maybe going to work in a bank or going to do something. I see it happen all the time. Yeah. So we hope in the future we can provide a platform for young engineers, upcoming engineers. Everybody is engineering these days or tech. Everybody's thinking fintech, programming, software. You get so
because there
are many people like me.
Yeah, the hardware is a lot of people would have been in the hardware, but even to get most people even finish. Even the guys who go into the programming of chips, even to buy Arduino, this thing is a big problem to some of them. They can't even raise the money. They just end up.
So it's. I think I have one here. How you mentioned Arduino? There's one on my desk here. I had one. Yeah. I have
See
it. This is it.
it. Yeah. And some people finish, some people learn this thing, able to buy one of those ones is a big problem. So they end up, passionate guys end up leaving the hardware stuff. Everybody cannot be in software.
Yeah,
Everybody
this is
can't
actually
everybody can't be in software.
control system for the launch vehicle. And Arduino will be the brain, the CPU for the launch vehicle. So I have like 3 or 4 thereabout. So that's what I'm saying. We'll give young ones a platform to explore their potential. Then again, I would always advise them, be bold and be brave. I won't be where I am today. I won't even be talking to you today if I wasn't brave enough and bold enough.
Yes.
What do I mean? The jet engine isn't what made me a little bit known. It was the night vision device I built that I launched, I think, early this year. I built that thing about 2 years ago, but because of fear, and the situation of the country, we kept it, we're just catching dust, until I just woke up one day and called my co-founder, Chinedu Ayekwa. And I'm like, bro, let's just release this thing. It can't just be catching dust here because all the silent moves we've been trying to make with it, it wasn't making sense. There was no headway. So I just woke up one day and just, unveiled it on Twitter, and then that was when we got invited by the army, through DRDB. So, and from there, everything just started happening, positive and negative, because yes, that's when these other guys started, making their attacks, saying I'm giving a Nigerian army weapons to kill them or do what. I'm like, is that what my brain is thinking?
No, I didn't want to go to that place when I saw it, I laughed.
Like I was just confused, man. Like, is this the level of thinking you people have? So like I said, bravery, be bold. You might want, but it's not everything. Just like maybe somebody telling me, one boy messaged me that he aspires to make weapons like ballistics, bullet, gun. I'm like, okay, don't go there. It's not everything. I said be bold and be brave. It's not this one. It's not this one.
Those ones
this is not what
they don't know those ones are highly regulated. Those guys, those things are done by.
Straight up, bro. This part you're doing is very. That is not what I meant by be brave and be bold. Start from somewhere else. Maybe you build something, maybe uniforms for the army or something. And then when you're not getting there, you not tell them the idea. They'll give you a safe environment to do that if you want. Not starting with that dangerous thing that can put you in serious trouble, From
the beginning, because nobody will give him nobody.
That was my advice I give to the young man. There are many people with ambitions. There are many people. It's just how to, So they need a guide, and I believe that was good advice I gave him, because imagine just making something and advertising online. DSS will come and pick you overnight and nobody will know.
Yeah, or even just come and pick man, and nobody will even know where he is. So finally,
will know.
Finally, if you are to have a dinner with somebody living or alive, who will it be?
A what?
If you are to have a dinner with somebody who is alive or dead, who would that person be? Who would that one person be?
A deal. You mean DEAL, right?
No, a dinner. We are to have.
Okay. That's a tough one. No? Do you mean with respect to what we are doing, or just in general?
Generally, like one person you admire so much that if you are to choose one person to have a dinner.
Okay, there are a lot of people, but let me narrow it down. There are a lot of people, honestly. There are a lot. But let me narrow it down. And the person is not Nigerian, no.
Okay.
I would say Elon Musk.
I got it.
I mean, he faced through the same things we are facing. When they started, people did not support him. Even people he looked up to, like Neil Armstrong and the rest of them, they were not happy with the way he was building space rockets. And it really pained him. But he said, I'm going to show you people. And then even in trying to show them, his rockets kept exploding, burning through millions
of dollars.
But he did not give up. He kept on pushing. He kept up. So, I mean, that can motivate anybody. And I pick some of my inspiration from him. He's radical. He's outspoken. He believes in what he believes in. If you want to beat him, come and beat him. He believes in what he believes in, as long as he's right.